Hello, 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 dreamers. Perla here, as always. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. So, this is going to be the Zodiac's weekly messages. So, this is all of our regular Zodiac signs. The video will be timestamped. Now, before I do get started, I am just going to give everybody a heads up. There is a lot of relationship love energy coming through. So, for most of you, if not all of you, these readings for this week are going to be revolving more about around relationships and love. Okay. Alrighty. So let's jump right on into Aries. Um, Aries, there is this space where I keep seeing, I keep hearing the same repetitive message. It is the same repetitive, like and the message is that it's like the repetition of something, or the continuation of being stuck in the same cycle with somebody. Now, whether this is a romantic relationship or a platonic relationship, it's irrelevant. When you become aware of what a connection really is, it is simply for you to choose whether or not you want to continue on staying within that space, within that frequency, or if you are ready to move on, or ready to let go, or ready to move forward. Now, why do I word it like that? Well, because not everyone is ready right now to let go of something. And that's just the truth. There's no judgment here. There is no time limit or anything like that. Everybody processes everything at a different time. But for some of you, is like you are asking spirit, like, well, I'm aware that this person is this way. I'm aware that this relationship is one-sided. I'm aware that I'm the only one giving to this relationship. I'm the only one fighting for this relationship. I'm the one always overpouring for this relationship. So why is it that I haven't walked away? Or why is it I'm still attached to this person? And then spirit is kind of looking at you. Well, you already know the answer to that. And you're like, what? And spirit is like, well, you already know the answer to that. Those spaces within yourself that you have been ignoring, those things within yourself that are telling you or trying to guide you to where these patterns began, you don't want to address. And I want you to sit there and think about that for a minute. We're very quick to get into a space where just because you're aware of something, that is only like half the battle. That's only half the work. Then now you have to do the work that comes with that. Now, a lot of people, I get it, a lot of people want to run away from shadow work as much as they want. So shadow work is not this dark demonic space that some people envision, or this hell space, or whatever it is. Shadow work is just really becoming aware of what is triggering you, or becoming aware, why do you react to certain things, or why do you respond to certain things. What is it about this specific energy or this specific space that draws you to it, that allows you to continuously come into alignment with certain behaviors or certain people. And shadow work is about having that understanding and that understanding with about yourself and within yourself as to who you truly are. A lot of people, and again, there seems to be here some type of stigma or some type of space where some of you are not wanting to admit that, okay, this that happened when you were 5 years old, like a relationship with a parent or whatever it is, set the tone for the romantic relationships that you now have, and the complications that are within that space. Now, when we talk about doing the shadow work, when we talk about healing that space, is about becoming aware of that space, becoming aware that that space exists, that existed, that your response or your reaction at that moment in time with what happened with that parent, with that sibling, or whatever it was, had a huge impact in how it is that you connect with people now. And it's about regulating your nervous system enough that it is no longer being triggered. Because again, and I think this is where a lot of people have a hard time when it comes to like shadow work, is the fact that when you are remembering something, you are actively reliving it. So your body, your mind does not realize that is not currently happening, right? When it is reliving something, when you're remembering something, you may feel sad, you may feel anger, you may feel whatever, and it's because a part of you, that part of you that existed in that moment in time when you were 5 years old, 6 years old, or whatever it was, is actively still living in you. So is act for that part of you, this is actively still happening. So this is why there are so many different tools to work within these spaces. There is like inner child work that can be done. There's different, ways that you can release it through like movement and music and this and that. And the reason why I say it like that is because every situation in your body, or every situation that is triggering or that is causing some type of havoc, or some type of chaotic energy in your nervous system, is going to be treated differently. It is going to be released. It is going to be transmuted in different ways. So for those of you that are asking spirit, like, hey, I'm aware of this, why can't I let go? Some of you are in a space where you're still kind of limiting yourself of what it actually means to let go of that. For some of you, spirit is just asking you to get up and freaking dance, like dance for 3 minutes, and there's going to be a shift that is going to happen. There's going to be something that's going to switch, and it's like, whoa, I released that through dance. Are you kidding me? For others of you, it's going to be through meditations. To others of you, is intentionally doing specific inner child work that is going to help you. So there is here a not just letting go of the situation or letting go of the person in itself, but also how it is that you're going about to healing these spaces, or how it is. And again, when I'm talking about healing, it is not that we are suppressing what happened. It is not that we are ignoring what happened. It is that we're taking what happened in that moment in time and integrating it, transmuting that energy to integrate it into who it is that we are now, and who it is that we continue to grow into, and who we continue to evolve into. Because again, a lot of people get triggered with the word healing, with the word shadow work, and with all of these things. And there is a perception here that there has to be a better understanding about what these words truly mean when we're talking about energy and frequency, and when we're talking about evolving and becoming the best version of yourself. Okay. So today you are the best version of yourself. Yesterday you were the best version of yourself. Tomorrow you're going to be the best version of yourself, because every day that goes by you learn. Every day that goes by you evolve. So isn't never ending type of cycle that we're in, if that makes any sense, right? And there's something in that space that, yes, a lot of you are very much aware that you have to let go of this person. Yes, a lot of you are very much aware that this relationship is not going anywhere, that there is no growth within this space. But the reason why you're still tethered to her, the reason that you're still attached to this person, it is because of the energetic, I want to say like the energetic like imprint or whatever that is connected to something that happened when you were younger, and that needs to be addressed. For some of you, is abandonment issues that you're dealing with, either from both parents or one parent. For others of you, is an abusive parent that spoke to you in a specific way, or that treated you in a specific way that caused you to feel like that is the way that you needed to be treated. And it's like, even though you recognize that these are the patterns, you still haven't addressed it at the level of when it actually happened. So meeting that version of yourself, and allowing that version of yourself to feel safe, to feel secure, to feel loved, so that they can integrate, that part of yourself can integrate what happened at that moment in time in a healthy way. I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see, what do we have? Anything else that Aries needs to know when it comes to this connection? There is a sense here that doing shadow work and addressing those parts of yourself is not about shifting the blame to you. It is not about blaming you, or etc., for what transpired or anything like that. It is about identifying the patterns that you have been in when it comes to relationships. And this is not just seeping into romantic relationships. In your platonic relationships, your work relationships, you're seeing the same exact pattern. So when you begin to see a pattern in something, if you like the pattern, right, then you keep it as is. If you are unhappy with the pattern, then you go ahead and you change it, right? So if you cut your hair and all of a sudden you hate your hair the way that it came out, sure, you're either going to wear a wig, or you're going to let your hair grow out, and you're never going to cut it again, right? So that now you know that short hair is not for you. For some of you, like when I shaved my hair, I kept my hair shaved for a couple of years. I absolutely loved my shaved head. Like, I love it. Shave all the way down, a nice platinum blonde or any other color, and I'm good, right? So this is what you have to realize, is like, if you like something, if you like a certain pattern in yourself, then you feed it. And if you don't, then you address it and you change it into what it is that you actually want it to look like. This is not something that somebody is going to magically come ahead and do for you. This is going to take intentional work on your part. And I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear, but it is the truth, my love. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and let's pull out a closing message. That's way too many cards. There were 3 cards there, my love. We're not doing that. Give me 1 card for the closing message, Spirit. 1. I already said we're only doing 1. 1 card. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Like, seriously, what are you clinging on to? And when I say this about like your inner child or something that happened to you when you were a child, I don't want you to think that it has, like, some of you are like, well, I was never sexually assaulted. I was never this. I was never that. It doesn't have to be like that. Everyone's nervous system, everyone's body reacts in different ways. You can have two children in the two exact same situation. And I've used this example many times before. You can have two children, 4 years old. They go out shopping with mom. For about 30 seconds, they lose sight of where mom is. They start to panic. They start to cry, right? At that point, mom comes, finds the child gets comforted, whatever. For some reason, let's say child A integrates that space, integrates that experience in a healthy way. Their nervous system is like, hey, nothing really happened. It was a 30-second thing. We're good to go. Mom is here. We were never abandoned. While child B, mother reacted the same way, mother responded the same way, the same exact situation. But for some reason, child B nervous system saw that as an alert and is like, I'm in danger and I was abandoned. For like, those 30 seconds were irrelevant. And that could have been, that one singular thing could have been the thing that affects now how it is that they connect to relationships. So if your significant other doesn't text you back right away, it's like, oh, they're ignoring me. You get what I'm saying? So integrating that part of yourself, understanding that that is what happened, right? Not judging that part of yourself, but instead integrating into yourself is what is going to allow you to move forward. So stop clinging on to things, do the shadow work that has to be done within this space so that you're able to release and let go, my love. Taurus. Taurus, there is a relationship here that is coming to an end. Now, whether or not you are aware of it, I feel like most of you are aware of it. There has been a slowly growing apart between you and somebody else. Now, whether this is romantic or platonic, again, guys, use your own discernment when it comes to that. But there is a relationship that is coming to an end. There's a relationship here that has served its purpose, and there is a transitioning period that is occurring where it may be both of you. I feel that it's just one of you. I am picking it up more from the other person, where the other person is not really ready to let go. They want to try to save this relationship. They want to try and save the connection that they have with you. But the truth of it is that it's expired. Like, if you go into the fridge and the milk is expired, it's rotten. It's rotten. You can still do dulce with rotten milk. You could do like this Dominican dulce, but whatever. What I'm trying to say is, like, just because a relationship has ended in a certain way doesn't mean that it cannot evolve in a different way. So how does that look like? If this is a romantic relationship that is ending, if you guys have kids and things like that, your co-parenting relationship, your friendship or whatever is going to evolve into something even more beautiful and something more sustainable. For those of you that this is a friendship that is ending, maybe this friendship is ending because you guys are evolving into a romantic relationship, right? So there is a sense here that as something is ending, something beautiful is being born, or something beautiful is being created from the space. So if your time is ending at a particular job or career, it is because you're moving into something more fulfilling. It's because you're moving into something better, something that is, and when I say better, we're just meaning something that is more in alignment with where it is that you are now at this moment in time. Okay. What else do we have for you guys? Number 79 for some reason is important for you guys. I don't know, like, you could, it looks weird because it's like a 7 and then a 9, but then it's also like coming together. So let's see, what does 79 represent? 79 is centers on aligning your life with divine purpose, using natural gifts for spiritual growth, and transitioning through hardship through enlightenment. So there's definitely a space here where you're coming into alignment with with a different part of your life. And this current relationship, again, whether it's romantic or platonic, is not in alignment with how it is that you're moving forward with your life, with how it is that you're moving forward with your purpose, right? And especially for those of you Tauruses, that there is a glow up, or there's some type of growth. So for some of you, it's like you're either getting like a better job, or you're moving out of state, you're moving out of the country. There's something significant that is happening that has slowly let you know that this was coming to an end. But there was, I'm not gonna lie, there was some type of resistance from both of you coming, but I feel that you have landed in the you have landed in the space that you're aware that you're ready to put an end to this. Like you know that it is time, you know that the time is right, where the other person is still kind of holding on and not wanting necessarily to let go. Okay. All right. So anything else that Aries, some of you may be dealing with an Aries. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. Or maybe just a fire sign, or somebody that is very much somebody that you had a very passionate relationship with, a lot of chemistry. But anything else for Taurus is what I wanted to say. Regardless of how many communications you guys have, or how many conversations is what I should say, regardless of how many conversations you guys have as to trying to see a way out of this, trying to keep a connection going on, or etc., at the end of the day, this is done. There is no there's no way that this is going back to what it was, like what it was at one point. And you have to really be honest with yourself. Like, are you more like, are you and this person like attached to each other because of the, like, how familiar this is and how comfortable you guys got around each other? Because again, there's a sense here that one of you, and I feel that it's mainly you, Taurus, has checked out emotionally out of this connection. You have checked out of this connection emotionally. For those of you that this is a romantic relationship, like where you guys are splitting. And for others of you, if this is a friendship that is evolving, because again, something is being created here. For those of you that this is ending, the two of you are going to end up being close friends. Maybe not right away, but there is a connection here of like a really strong bond between you and somebody else. And just because the two of you are not together doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are out of each other's life. And for those of you that this is a friendship evolving, um, take it slow is what I want to say. Take it slow. And take it slow, because there is what is that? Okay. There is a space that if this is a relationship that is evolving from a friendship, there is there's a there's a heads up with taking it slow and not comparing yourself to anybody that they've dated. Because for those of you that this is like a friend or whatever, you may be comparing yourself like, well, I don't look like their type, is what I want to say. And that in itself is like a very slippery slope to go into, that you're being asked to like just be aware of it, if that makes sense. For your closing message, we have Imra. Imra? Imra? Imra. That sounds better. Where are you being called to journey to? Again, there's something here that has shifted in your life or their lives, or something here that the two of you are no longer in alignment in the same way that you guys were. And you are being asked to move forward in the direction that is, whether it is ending a relationship or starting a relationship with a friend, right? Again, regardless of anything, there is some type of evolution here that is happening. But for those of you that are having a hard time letting go, I really, really invite you to ask yourself, are you holding on to this again because it is so familiar, because you've been used to it for so long? Or are you holding on because you're truly invested in this? There is a huge difference between loving somebody and being in love with someone. And for a lot of you, there is a lot of love between the two of you if this is ending, but there is no more in that in love phase. And the in love phase can come and go through a relationship, but I honestly feel that you know deep down in your heart that that's not coming back between you and this person, and that's just the truth. And sometimes when you try to hold on to something, it just makes it that much more painful. Geminis, there's some type of discomfort energy surrounding you are waiting for some type of you're waiting for some type of answer, some type of judgment to be made. Whatever this relationship involves with you, whether it's romantic or platonic, it is something that you're really wanting to go in your favor. Um, so this can be like a dissolution of marriage, custody hearing, or whatever it is. But there is some type of anticipation or some type of worry here. I don't know why it keeps on coming up, and I'm gonna keep on saying it because I feel like Gemini for the last couple of weeks there has been a very huge light being shone on the fact that a lot of you want to live in faith or want to live in truth, but are struggling very heavy with your faith or with the trusting. So doubt has become a very big issue for a lot of you guys, is what I'm picking up. And it is not about when a doubtful thought comes through, it's not about like suppressing or ignoring it. It is about like, oh, okay, but no, that's not what it is. This is what it is. It's about reprogramming or rewriting those intrusive thoughts that are coming in. Because again, you have to get to a point where you know that you are co-creating, that you know that spirit is guiding you, that you know that things are always working in your favor and not against you. And the minute that you land into that knowing, you start to see your reality shift. You start to see things in your life going the way that you want. But that bridge between those doubts and the knowing can sometimes be a little difficult. Now, there are plenty of different tools and exercises that you can do. You're welcome to listen to affirmations. You're welcome to, when an intrusive thought comes, like, again, I'm very much about receiving things and transmuting them. That is my go-to with everything that I do. And it's like, oh, I see you. Oh, I hear you. Okay. That's interesting. That may have been true 10 years ago. That may have been true 5 years ago, but that's no longer true. Or you revert it however it is that you want. A very simple exercise to do, especially if you're having something that is constantly replaying in your mind. So you're finding that these intrusive thoughts are not leaving. Like it feels like this bombarded energy or space in your head that just keeps on repeating how you have failed in something. So a very easy way to like ground yourself or to like get yourself into that rhythm of like rewiring is you take a notebook, and nothing fancy, guys. I mean, there is I know I'm gonna get off topic here, but I think you're gonna understand what I mean, Geminis. Some people get really stuck in the rituals, and like you have to have this paper and you have to have this and you have to have that and you have to have this and this, and they go all ritualistic, like you have to wear this color and you have to do this and you have to do that. If we are co-creating with spirit, I don't give a damn what you're wearing, what you're writing with, et cetera, et cetera. You're co-creating. And when you're in that knowing, you know that you're in that knowing of co-creating, right? And and yes, there are benefits to amplify certain frequencies and certain energies by wearing certain colors, by using certain things, right? But they are not always necessary, is what I'm trying to say. So like taking a little piece of paper, and this is like all of my Saturday soul shift are written for like the next couple of months. But anyways, you take a piece of paper and you say, I am ugly, right? Like, let's say this is what you're constantly telling yourself, I am ugly. And you read it and you're like, fuck, like, this is really how I talk to myself. And then you cross it off. And then you go ahead and you talk to yourself and you say, I am pretty. You start off like, I am beautiful. I feel a little tightness there. I don't think I'm ready for that word yet. I am pretty. Ooh, still feels a little better. Oh, I am cute. Oh, my body accepts that right away. So then you just write it, I am cute, right? And then you rewrite it. And that is a simple way of like literally rewiring your mind, believe it or not, right? And then in a couple of weeks, you write, I am cute. You cross it off and then you say, I am pretty. And it's like, oh, shoot. My nervous system is accepting that I am pretty. And then you move on and you move on. A lot of people want instant manifestation when they don't practice what instant manifestation is, right? The more that you program your mind, the more that you allow yourself to make these subtle shifts in the little things that you think are not important, are the things that are actually going to help you make those bigger shifts and manifest a lot faster the bigger things that you want. And they start with very small little things, right? And for a lot of you that are struggling with this outcome that you are, that it's because honestly, like, you feel like this is not working in your favor, something is going to go against you, but you're going to be surprised as to you getting a favorable outcome. Now, what do I mean by that? An amazing outcome would be you getting 100% of what it is that you wanted out of this outcome. To be honest with you, I see you at this moment in time receiving about 80% of what it is that you want in this outcome. That other 20%, there are certain things that need to occur in order for that to happen. I don't know why is it coming up that way, but that is the way that it's coming up, my love. There is a sense here that a lot of you need to start bridging your physical world with your spiritual world. You have made a habit out of separating your physical world, your reality world, whatever you want to call it, with your spirituality or your spirit world. When you realize, I don't know why is it coming like that, when you realize that living in the spirit and operating from your spiritual sense or your spiritual body or whatever it is what allows you to live in purpose and is what allows things to instantly manifest, then you're going to stop. One of the things that you can do that can hurt your lives when you're constantly repeating these doubtful things, oh, I can't do this, or I can't do that. No, you can. You will. Again, find a vocabulary that your nervous system accepts, because it is something that you have a lot of deprogramming to do in order to put in a new program. And so I'm inviting you to do this, right? And this is something that I tell my clients when we do one-to-one like coaching and things like that. Take 3 minutes a day. I don't care what time of the day it is. I just want you to be consistent. 3 minutes a day. Ideally at around the same time every day, like in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, whatever. Find 3 minutes. Set an intention for those 3 minutes. Okay. Your intention can be eating healthier. And I want you to pick something that you're almost at, or something that you've been struggling with but doesn't feel so far-fetched. So I don't want you to pick like, oh, I'm a millionaire type of shit. No, like this is because hmm, this practice or this tool is about you learning the subtleties of your nervous system, so that then you can regulate it, so that when you are trying to affirm something, when you're trying to manifest something, you know the cues that your body is giving you, like, oh, let's reword that a certain way, or let's rephrase that a certain way. It's still the same thing, but we're going to rephrase it differently, so that you're able to align with that frequency a lot faster. So for 3 minutes, right? And I'm being completely honest with you guys. I mean, I don't do 3 minutes, I do a lot longer than that. But this is how it started, right? You use the stopwatch. You're going to set your intention, and then you're going to inhale for 5 seconds. You're going to hold for 5 seconds, right? And then you're going to exhale for 5 seconds. And then you're going to hold for 5 seconds. And then you're going to inhale again for 5 seconds. And you're going to keep that rhythm of inhaling for 5, holding for 5, exhaling for 5, holding for 5, inhaling, etc. for 5, 5, 5 for the whole 3 minutes with that set intention, right? Now, do so we usually do it in two parts, right? So we'll do it with something like, let's say that you're already doing, like, I'm exercising every day, right? So do it with that, see how your body feels, right? Because it is the truth of something that is happening. Then after those 3 minutes are up, do it now with something that is not happening and something that you have been struggling with doing. So like, I'm a millionaire, right? Let's put it that way, like I'm a billionaire, whatever it is. And do the same thing for 3 minutes, the 5, 5, 5, 5. And then see how it is that your nervous system is reacting. Where do you feel the tension? Where do you feel the ache? Where do you feel pull? Where do you feel tightness, etc.? Right? And then when you take those subtleties, right, then now you know what your body feels like when you're saying what is truth, right? So I am exercising every day, or I whatever it is that you do every day, like that you do consistently, right? And then what it is that you're not doing, but what it is that you want it to become a reality. And then now what you're going to try to do, or what you are going to be doing, is what I should be saying, is you're going to find that middle ground. All right. So how can I get this that feels so off in my nervous system to feel this, the truth of what it is that is happening, right? How? Easy. You play around with the words. You play around with the words. And then when, like, so you every day you try it, you try a different phrase, and it's like, ooh, that felt a little bit better. Ooh, that felt worse. Let me rephrase it. And as you're meditating for those 3 minutes, you can rephrase it as many times as you want until you find the vocabulary, the words that aligns directly with your spirit. I hope that that makes sense, and I hope that that helps you, my love. All righty. All right, so your closing message: protection. Call back your power, cut the course, and soul retrieval. This, everything that I just talked about, it is, for a lot of you, again, this doubt, the space of doubt that has creeped in and that has occupied so much of your space, so much of you, is because in reality, again, you have been living just from like your physical body. You have not been integrating your spiritual body into your reality. And when we talk about protection, it is not about being afraid of what's out there or anything like that. It is about having having an authority over yourself, having an authority over your spirit, over your physical body, over your soul, over your actions and things like that. And this is what spirit is asking you to do. It's like, hey, let's take back this control by directing our thoughts to help manifest what it is that you want, what it is that you've been seeking for. All righty, Geminis. Cancer. Cancer, you're pretty much in vacation mode this week. There's something about um, celebrating and enjoying. There, hold on, guys, because I dropped my towel and it didn't want to come up. Whatever it is that you are celebrating, or whether you're on vacation or whatever it is, there may be some tension coming about. So just kind of be aware of that. Please be aware of your surroundings, especially like if you're in a different country and things like that. Different countries have different cultures or etc. So just there is a here about like being aware of your surroundings. If you are, going to a place and you're consuming some type of substance like alcohol, etc., again, make sure that you're around people that you trust, or that you're with like a designated driver, somebody that is not drinking, type of thing. And I don't understand why, like, that is what is coming up. It's not about scaring you or anything like that. It's just enjoy yourself, but do it safely is what I want to say. Let's see what else. There is, when it comes to relationship, there seems to be a common ground found between you and someone of significance, whether this is romantic or platonic. There is what it seems like, there seems to be some common ground that is being reached. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel that you are compromising more than this other person. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That is where the energy is coming from. It's like you're compromising more. So just be aware of that so that you don't carry any resentment in the future towards this person. We're just going to leave it at that, because again, that is what is coming in regards to that space. Now, for those of you that are in a quote unquote, like what you consider like a healthy relationship or stuff like that, there is talk about like either marriage, or talk about like some type of like the next movement is what I keep on picking up, like the next step. This is definitely for those of you that are engaged. For others of you, it's like you are getting engaged during this time, or there's talk about engagement, there's talk about like, again, because it very much feels like a connection evolving, a connection becoming more solid, a connection moving on to like the next level. And this level is about either getting married or moving in together, or something of that matter. But it's like you guys are finally like in alignment with each other as to how it is that this is going to work, or how it is that this is going to move forward. Does that make sense? All right. What else does Cancer need to know? Don't go into like petty arguments with anyone. Certain people, there's somebody there's somebody close to you that has already made up their mind in regards to you. This may be a sibling or somebody related through blood, excuse me, that has already made up their mind in regards to you, or in regards to the field that you're in, or whatever it is you're doing. Um, there is, yeah, there is no change in this person's perception or this person's opinion about your choices. What has to transpire here is you coming into acceptance of what the dynamic of this relationship between you and this person is going to be moving forward, and the fact that you are not going to have that dream relationship that you wanted with either this sibling or cousin or whatever it is, parents or etc. I know that is not what you want to hear, but it is the way that it came out, my love. All right. It's funny. We have Star Mother. How can you mother yourself was the first card that came up. And then we have this Mitikin. I guess that's how you say it. Longing for home, belonging, an original light worker. With this card of how can you mother yourself, again, with the whole thing with the trip is like more about like, taking like, just be aware of your surroundings is what I want to keep saying. For those of you that this when we talk about like the relationship aspects of stuff of things, excuse me, it's about, you know, when you think about a mother is there to guide their child, because they're not going to be children their entire life, right? They're going to be adults, so it's about guiding, giving the space for them to grow and to evolve into who they are. And for some of you is like cutting ties with certain people, even if they are blood relative, is what is going to allow you to really grow. So what you're being called to do this during this time is really reevaluate certain connections with like siblings or cousins, and see what ties need to be cut, or how these relationships need to be adjusted. And I've talked about this, and I talk about, you know, I use my own personal life as an experience. I have two older sisters and I have a younger brother, and my relationship with each of them are different. My older sisters, one of them is 5 years older than me, the other one is 8 years older than me. So the dynamic of a relationship growing up was almost non-existent because of the age gap. And my younger brother and I, we had completely different interests, so again, we didn't grow up together, and that dynamic is also different. But based on our connections and based on our histories, each of those relationships are nurtured in different ways, right? I have communications with all three of my siblings. I get together with all three of my siblings, but there are certain spaces or certain areas where there are very strict boundaries set because of the connection that we've had since childhood. Hope that makes sense. Leos. Leos, there is some type of there's some type of clarity that you are receiving this week. There is a sense here of liberation and freedom that you have been feeling. There is a I know you guys cannot hear that, but she just snores so loud, that dog. She is deep in resting, my female. But anyways, I just had to stop for like a moment because it was really loud. There is a sense here that turbulence time, or the chaotic time, or the time of waiting, or something of that matter is over. You're being asked to move forward in a certain directions, or you're being asked to take some type of leadership role, whether that is like in your own personal life or your finances or your career. There's something here that you're being asked to step up. You've been leaving certain parts of your life or certain aspects of yourself to others or in other people's hands. So how can this look like if you are in a romantic relationship, like your significant other handles all the finances and you have no idea what your finances look like, and maybe you want to buy something, or you want to, whatever it is, like you're being told to take control over something, or to get involved in something that you have been taking the back seat towards, or that you have not intentionally like involved yourself in. The time of like you sitting back and allowing other people to dictate like what is happening in your life or what's going to happen needs to stop. There and I, for those of you Aries that are like, well, that's not me, then this reading is not for you. This is very much, this is somebody that someone saw your light, or people have seen your light, and you have given so much of yourself freely to everybody, but it feels like everybody just comes like, you know, everybody's coming with their, like, think about it this way, like you are the candle, right? And then this person is coming and they're taking, right? They're taking, and then they leave. And then the next person comes and they come and they take, and then they leave, but they're not pouring anything back into you. And this is where you have to learn to stand up for yourself. You need to learn to have the discernment as to what it is that you're giving to, and what it is that you are what it is that you're spending your energy in, and what is not reciprocating that energy that you give out. Now, reciprocation looks different in many different ways, right? A dynamic within a relationship can be like, you know, you provide, like, you know, somebody, one of you provides like financial stability, where the other one is like the emotional stability. Now that means is not that only one person is providing all of it, but one person carries most of it, if that makes sense, right? It is about like, you know, you're giving 70% of yourself today because that's all you have, and your partner is giving 100%, and the next day your partner is giving 100 and you are giving 100, then the next day your partner is giving 30 and you're giving 30 because that's all you have. But it's about allowing the energy to be reciprocated, and a lot of the people that you come in contact with, Leo, come to take from your light and do not give anything back, if that makes sense. There is no reciprocation. So usually what starts to happen is like, it's not necessarily that your light is dimming, is that it becomes a very heavy and draining experience for you, that then one of two things happen. You believe, or you begin to tell yourself that that is the purpose of you, to light others, even if it's at the risk or at the fact of sacrificing yourself. And then the second thing is you condition yourself to live like this, and you don't allow yourself to dream more, you don't allow yourself to aim for more, if that makes sense. And that is what spirit is asking you to walk away from during this time. All right, give me a closing message for Leo. Share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. So for a lot of you, you're going to have to find that balance of being there, sharing, caring, supporting, and etc., but without it draining you. And the only way that that is going to happen is by practicing. Practicing how it is that, or in what areas of your life are you letting yourself be drained from others, and being completely honest with yourself and setting those boundaries that are needed in place so that that doesn't continue to happen. Virgos, Virgos, there's a lot of planning and a lot of movement forward when it comes to a specific project. There's something that you really get, like it's coming to the end of production is what I keep on picking up. Something that you have already decided that you're going to launch, or something that you've decided that is you're ready to move forward with, or you're ready to launch. So this week very much feels very like long hours and kind of like overdoing it, I'm not gonna lie. So there is a quick reminder to please step out and like get a little bit of sunlight, or get a little bit of fresh air. um there For those of you that this is a project like work related or something like that, you're working with like two or three other people to bring something to fruition or to bring something out. So this is a collaborated work is what I'm picking up, but everybody is pretty much showing up and everybody is giving. So like there is not one person carrying all the weight. So I do see this project or whatever it is being very successful. Now, for those of you that are wondering about romance, or a relationship, there's somebody that is at a distance that you are communicating with, and you guys are planning some type of either meetup or something of that matter. They do live at a distance from you. They can live like in a different county or a different state. Maybe the two of you are trying to figure out like when you guys are going to see each other, how you guys are going to make it possible with your schedules, or etc. That does come up, but I'm going to be honest with you. As far as like this week, that looks more like communication than actual movement forward. I do not see the two of you like getting together this week, like actually seeing each other, but there is the communication in regards to it, if that makes sense. There's an ending coming to like any financial struggles that were there. Excuse me. Any financial struggles, or any like money loss or anything like that that was happening, that's coming to an end. There is some type of change here when it comes to your money. um you are being asked that as money begins to come in, to please be, I keep on hearing, be respectful of money. And it's funny that it comes in that way, but it's like be respectful of the energy of money. um and I don't know, I don't even know what that looks like. In the sense of like, maybe like, if you're manifesting money for like one specific thing, then don't go ahead and spend it on something else. Like be respectful to the energy. Like if you're asking money for like a car or a house, like when the money comes in, don't go and spend it on a trip, because that money was manifested with a specific intention in mind. Does that make sense? That is really as much as I can think in regards to that money situation now. So as your closing message, we have answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And I pretty much feel that you are already answering that call. Because whatever it is that you're working on, or whatever it is that you're going to be releasing into the world, is something that you're very passionate about, something that you have poured all of yourself, and you have poured a lot of energy and a lot of time into this. What I will say in regards to this is like, this is just the beginning. Do not set limits to yourself within this space, and really allow yourself to continue on moving forward, answering this call specifically for you. Libras. Libras, things seem to be going very good for you. This seems like a very mild week when it comes to like intrusive thoughts. I feel that whatever it was that was happening last week, you have addressed those issues, and now you're working on integrating those issues revolving around romance. Now, there is somebody here that is still trying, like somebody is moving within the shadows. Somebody may be stalking your social media, or somebody may be looking at your social media, trying to find out some type of information about you, or trying to find out something about you. um this can very much be like just people intrigued by you. I see a lot of looks, right? So like this can be people like looking at your social media but not actually like engaging, that type of energy. So I said, what, that's why it comes out as like a little shadow or lurking type of energy. This is definitely somebody from your past, or somebody connected to somebody from your past. So this can be an ex's new partner that is looking to see who you are, looking to see who you are, because they in their twisted mind see you as a competition. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So just kind of be aware of that. There is there can be some type of like secret coming to light, so just kind of brace yourself for it. It is going to bring some type of chaotic turbulence or issues. So if I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you've taken like any trips or anything like that that other people aren't aware of, like make sure you have your passport hidden or something of that matter. Somebody is finding out about some type of secret by accident. So this person is not finding out intentionally, if that makes sense. Um, just be aware of that energy, please. Uh, I keep on hearing the surface level, the surface stuff, the surface thing of some type of secret is coming out. So they're not finding out entirely everything that happened. They're just finding out like the surface aspect of it. Now, whether that is because you were able to deceive this person or what it is, I don't know. But there is some type of surface level secret coming out. Now, there's some type of lie revolving a pregnancy. There's some type of lie revolving a pregnancy. That's weird. Okay. There may be a water sign involved, Scorpio, Pisces. I know it's Scorpio, Pisces. What is it? Aquarius? No, is it Aquarius? No, it's not Aquarius. It's, oh my God, what can I think of the third one? Give me a second, guys, because I'm blanking out. And I think I'm blacking out because it doesn't involve the third water sign, but it's gonna drive me crazy because like I'm really blanking out. And you know the funny thing is that I have it right here in front of me, right? Cancer. I'm like, what is the third fucking water sign? Cancer. I am picking very much up like the Scorpio Pisces energy more than a Cancer. So if you're dealing with a Cancer, this is maybe not for you. But though for those of you that are dealing with Scorpio or Pisces energy, there's definitely something surrounding either a fake pregnancy, and I know that that sounds crazy, or this energy of like somebody having a miscarriage and not just like not saying it. There is deception within this energy, so just kind of be aware of it. And somebody's going to try to talk their way out of something, or going to try to deceive somebody else a little longer when it comes to some type of pregnancy. It keeps on coming. I keep on seeing pregnancy. I don't know, guys. Um, I and or it may be that you have a what are those pregnancy calls, like when your body, what are they called? Let me see. When like you honestly feel that you are pregnant, like your body is acting like you are but you really aren't. It has a term. So I also want you to like not the phantom pregnancy. There you go, or false pregnancy. So for those of you, like if your significant other has told you that they're pregnant or whatever, and all of a sudden they're not, to be honest with you, they may have like a phantom pregnancy where they actually honestly thought that they were, like the test was coming out positive, like they were showing symptoms and this and that, but in reality there really wasn't one. For others of you, somebody just flat out is deceiving somebody here. All right. Um, share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. There is definitely a space here of um with this persecution. There's something here that's coming out. There's something here that is coming out. There's something here that has been hidden that is coming out to light, and there's no stopping that. Scorpios. Scorpio, you're coming down from a high. You're coming down from a high. I don't know what is it in regards to, but there's a coming down from some type of high. There is something about the letter V. I keep on hearing the word value, value, value in something. Needing to find the value in something, or you're seeing the value in something. For some of you, you're maybe seeing the value. Again, use this energy. Use your own discernment. This is maybe you towards somebody or somebody towards you, but somebody's finally seeing the value in somebody else, somebody from their past. And there is a reminiscing here about this person from the past. And um whoever it is that is reminiscing has moved on, is what I'm picking up. Do not, if this is you, Scorpio, like, do not go around comparing your current partner to your ex. They're two completely different people, and they are there to serve two completely different purposes in your life. And that's where that's going to stay. If you are cross watching for Scorpio and you have moved on, again, do not compare your current person to a Scorpio, and stop watching Scorpio readings if you're already seeing somebody else that's not a Scorpio. Um, Gotta say that because you need to let go, my love. Anyways, let's move forward. There is here, there are a lot of secrets. I'm not gonna lie. This new connection that you're in, Scorpio, feels very much. I keep on seeing like a blotchy type of energy. This energy of like inconsistent. It is very hot and steamy. So there is chemistry, and it is very much a sexual. I keep on hearing sexual transaction. So it is a very sexual energy, a very sexual relationship, but there's not a lot of substance behind it, is what I'm picking up. So just do with that information whatever you may. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but that is very much coming in where you are. There is some type of addictive energy here when it comes to like sex, from both of you, not just one of you. And this is why it feels like it's a match made in heaven. But when we pull away from the act, from the intercourse, from sex itself, we're not talking about intimacy here, we're talking about the actual act of sex. There is not much more to bond over, and that may be something that you are, now finally realizing, because you're coming down from that initial high of connecting with this person. And maybe there is a wanting to have something more solid, or wanting to have something more grounded, but realizing that this is not it, or that it is not here. For some of you, there is a forceful energy here of trying to force something to be it, even though it is not. This very much does feel like a, when I say a past energy, this is not a past person, but this is a past energy behavior. This is a past pattern for you. And when you finally accept that, or you finally see the reality of something, for some of you Scorpios, I'm going to be completely honest with you, is going to feel like you're trapped in some type of situation that you cannot get out of. Either you're going to get pregnant, or somebody's going to get pregnant. There is some type of hold that somebody wants to have, over another person. um I don't know. I don't know if you know that something is just sexual, and you know that there's no depth there. Depth. Just use protection, or protect yourself as much as you can. There is, and again, when I say these things, there's no judgment here. During the course of your journey, your spirit is going to need different things. Your spirit sometimes is going to need connections that are purely physical, to learn certain things, to embrace certain energies, etc. Then you're going to go through a period of time where you need celibacy. You're going to go through a period of time where you need this, where you need that. So as I say that, I don't want you to look at yourself and be like, oh my God, I'm addicted to sex, I'm like this horrible person, etc., etc. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that there is here a space where something is purely sexual, purely physical, but you can end up being trapped in something because somebody becomes pregnant, or because you become pregnant. We have Keepers of the Earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand behind you. Again, this is very much a repetitive cycle, either in your own personal life, or a generational recycling of energy, right? So, like, let's say maybe in your family, females get pregnant at 16. Maybe in your family at 18, every guy gets kicked out of the house. Like, and these are what we call generational curses that need to be broken. And this is something that is a cycle in your life, or a cycle in your generation, that needs a stop to it. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you need to do some grounding this week. You need to put your feet on grass. Your toes need to touch grass. There's some type of grounding that is needed, because it feels very much like your energy is a little chaotic. Now, when I say that, there's a lot of moving pieces in your chessboard right now that are all working in your favor, and you're seeing the end goal, or you're seeing how the game is going to end. But there's also an ungrounding energy that is trying to like either distract you or is trying to move you away from the end game or the results that you're looking for. So this can come in many different ways, right? Like if you have kids, one of your kids is getting sick when you have like all of these things that you have to do, right? Having car problems, having this, having that. I'm gonna share like a quick message. So like yesterday, my car had some work done for a recall. um I like a recall item or whatever on my car, so it was done for free. The guy came in, he did it in my like in my driveway or whatever, and then he left. And then the next day when I went to turn my car on, my car just powered off on me, like whoosh. And then when I went and I checked the battery or whatever, I was able to turn the car back on, and the check engine light was on. And I was like, well, you know what, I have like a lot of shit going on this week, like I can't have this. So I called the place that serviced my car, and I was like, look, I understand what was changed may not have anything to do with this, but to be honest with you, he was the last person that touched my car. And if I call my dealership, they're going to want to know exactly what was done and this and this and that. So I need my car to get checked, because I'm okay with taking it to my dealership, but I just need to make sure it has nothing to do with it. And it was just something that was left, like it wasn't connected back, or like it was something like that was so simple. He came, he ran a diagnostic test, excuse me, and the problem was fixed like within 5 minutes, right? So I never had to contact my dealership. But that would have been an experience that would have very much had me panicking or freaking out if I do not keep myself grounded. What does grounding look like? Yesterday morning, it looked like I believe it was like an 8-minute meditation in the morning, and I felt certain things, and I was like, "Ooh, something's coming. I just don't know what it is, but I know I'm going to be ready for it." And that was the something that came for me specifically, was that space of like the little hiccup that I had with the car, because I do have so many things going on that could have been something that could have easily thrown me off track. And that's kind of like the way that I want you to look at this. Is like you have a lot going on. You're trying to keep hold of a lot of things, and there has to be balance within you. So you need to be grounded in spirit, in your physical, like your physical body and your mind, in order to be able to being able to manage everything that you have going on in a way that doesn't feel draining, in a way that doesn't feel exhausted, and in a way that doesn't feel sacrificing. Does that make sense? Because this is not about hustling till you drop. This is about learning to live in alignment. And when we learn to live in alignment, we realize that if you are always prepared, you don't need to get ready. So if you're already doing your daily ritual, your daily grounding rituals, you don't have to prepare for that, right? You don't have to get ready because you're already prepared. So what do grounding rituals? Again, I talk about this a lot. Grounding rituals can look different every single day. Sometimes it's sitting down, sometimes is breath work, sometimes is on the bed, sometimes is dancing, sometimes is um just sitting outside in nature, whatever it is that your spirit is asking you for that day. I urge you to please listen to it, because it is trying to ground you. So whatever it is that is coming that you need to face, you're able to face it without being throw off balance, right? And without going into like a chaotic space or energy. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, renewing for the future. This is what grounding is going to do for you. Grounding is going to allow you to break the chain, to break these patterns that when things are finally working your way, when things are finally manifesting for you, you have this little dialogue with yourself that you be like, oh well, something's gonna go wrong. And then immediately you manifest that. And then you're like, oh, you see, I told you. No, my love, you're manifesting that because you're already in this frequency of manifesting whatever it is that you were working for. You're open to receiving. So it's like whatever negative thoughts or negative words is what I should say, whatever negative words are also going to be manifested. This is why being very aware of what it is that we are thinking and what it is that we're saying, and rewriting or having a or redoing the dialogue is very important when we are in that manifestation, like instant manifestation state. Okay. Capricorns, there's something somebody's been wanting to say or has been wanting to communicate with you. I'm not gonna lie to you, Capricorns. I feel like you already know what this is. You're just sitting there waiting for the person to give you the answer. Give you the answer. Whoa, that was not what I was thinking was gonna come out. I was gonna say honestly, like that's not what I was gonna say. Like what was coming through in my head was somebody's gonna come and tell you some type of secret, or somebody's gonna come and share something with you, but you already know what it is. But it keeps on coming as an answer. So for some of you, this is the answer that you have been waiting for, to either walk away from something or walk away from a situation, to finally let go. And when I say let go, there is a sense here that there has been either some resentment or angers towards somebody, Capricorns, that you need to let go of. You need to let go of that anger. You need to let go of that resentment. And there is a relief, I'm not gonna lie, that comes with this news. There is some type of liberation that you're feeling, like, yes, now this person is gonna stay away from me. Maybe this person is moving in with somebody, maybe this person is getting engaged, maybe this person is having kids with somebody else, or whatever it is. It is a major step in this person's life. But I feel that, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you, this very much feels like somebody is saying it because they want they're saying it in person, one, because they want to see your reaction. There is a belief here that this is going to break you, or this is going to hurt you. This person very much feels like they are the prize, like you lost by letting them go, or etc. And your response to their news or to their secret is not what they are expecting. And I think the reason for that is because, again, I feel like you already knew energetically, like you may have had a vision or a dream, or it just came to you like, oh, so and so is going to reach out to say A, B, C, and D. Again, but there is something about either saying it in person, or saying it like through video chat or something. Somebody wants to see your reaction, and they're going to be surprised when they get a response from you instead of a reaction. Now, there's somebody here that has, I'm not going to lie to you, Capricorns, I feel like you are the one that is still single in this dynamic of a relationship, or of a connection. Somebody, and I'm going to do it in quotation, has moved on, but is still very much in the loop as to what it is that you're doing, or what it is that you're not doing. What is interesting to me is, like, they do not come directly to you to ask. They ask others around you, or they're watching what it is that you're doing, or they're watching your behavior, they're watching something to see if you have somebody else or somebody new. You are very much this, at least for this week, Capricorns, I see that you're very much focused on your career moves, and your finances it's is where your mind is. You're in a state of not wanting to, you say you're no longer chasing love, or you're no longer chasing relationships. I keep on hearing you're sitting in alignment. You're sitting in alignment. It's like you know what you want, and now you're just ready. You're ready to be in alignment with this. And to be honest with you, I feel that the only thing that is holding you back is maybe the resentment or the anger that you may have had towards this ex that is coming in to tell you their good news. And for some reason, that twisted, in some twisted way, them revealing to you like that they're either moving in with somebody, or they're having a kid with somebody, or they are whatever it is that they're doing with somebody else, um is allowing you to release, is allowing you to release. That's weird. Okay. All right. Anyways, I have to say it that way because it's like, okay, enough of the ads. For those of you that are in a relationship with water signs specifically, there is a dynamic of the relationship shifting, or there's some type of shift happening within this romantic relationship. Somebody stepping up, or somebody finally showing up the way that you want them to, Capricorns. Somebody showing up the way that you want them to. We have the Priestess card for you. How are you being called to step up and lead? How are you being called to step up and lead? There is a space here that, as everything else is happening, like with this X or whatever showing up in your field and in your space, you're very much focused on your journey, or you're very much focused on what it is, or what it is that you feel that spirit is leading you into. And now, as I say that, there is a space here that the resentment and the anger that you may have towards this ex may have been hidden in some form, like you were not aware that you were feeling this, and they started to surface up before this person comes to try and rub their happiness in your face. And now I say it that way because when somebody is trying to rub their supposedly happiness in your face, you already know that there's trouble in paradise, and we'll leave that like that. And that's all I'm saying in regards to that, my love. Because if you're truly happy, you don't have to prove to anybody that you are. Okay, the Capricorns. I love you guys. Aquarius says, Aquarius says you're outing out somebody or you're outing out people's secrets is what I'm picking up. Somebody came for you, or somebody's coming for you is what I'm picking up. Somebody is either they're trying to out a secret that is really not a secret. It's something that you talk about openly. It may even be a form of like you share this publicly like to help other people, like whether it was like an addiction, whether you were like in an abusive relationship, whether you were the abusive person in a relationship. I don't know, there's some type of dynamic here that somebody is trying to use against you, but they don't realize that all they're doing is bringing you bringing you followers or bringing you subscribers is what I'm picking up, right? So like let's say you may be on social media and you talk about like how you were like an active addict to whatever, or how you were in jail, or how you were this or how you were that, or how you used to physically hit your ex, whatever it was, right? And you went through a time period where you recover, so you are a recover whatever, and you have a platform now where you share, you talk about this, and now somebody from your past is trying to come and shame you, and what they're not realizing is that they actually are attracting more people or more traffic to what it is that you're doing or what it is that you're bringing awareness to. So somebody's here, somebody's ill intent towards you, you're transmuting into something positive. And I really love that. That is a very boss energy of something that you're doing. Now, when it does come to love, Aquarius says, I really need you to really pay attention to the subtleties between that is going on with your current partner. There's something here that I'm not 100% liking. There is some type of secrecy or some type of hidden agenda here that you should be aware of. But this is not in relation to the other subject that we were talking about, right? For some of you, it's like maybe you lost a lot of weight and people are like posting pictures of like when you were overweight or whatever it was. I don't know. There's something shady going on that side, but then there's something also shady going on when it comes to a relationship. Um, what is going on? What is this shady energy? Okay, I don't see somebody, and I'm gonna be honest, completely honest with you. Somebody may be like emotionally cheating. So somebody may be talking to multiple people behind your back. As far as like something physical, I don't see it coming up just yet. But this is more of like somebody that likes to speak to multiple people, like to have different multiple people in their inboxes or on their phone or whatever. And this is a way that they feed themselves, is what I keep on hearing. This is a way that they feed an aspect of themselves, a part of themselves that needs this type of attention. So I need you to be aware of that. Um, but this person, like whoever it is that you're with, hasn't actually met with anybody, hasn't actually been with anybody like physically, at least from what I can pick up, again, because these are just collective messages, but they are talking to multiple people, so just be aware of that. Again, this beautiful energy of like transmuting whatever it is that is sent to destroy you, you're transmuting that into like this beautiful energy that is just helping you grow and evolve. We have dance with life. Do something to change your energy. All right, do something to change your energy. And I feel that that is exactly what you're doing. Whatever it is that is coming in, you're transmuting it. Whether that is through dance, meditation, through chanting, through singing, through whatever, you're transmuting that energy. You are taking this control over the things that are coming in, over the things that you are allowing yourself to receive, and how it is that you are allowing yourself to receive these things. There is again, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record because it is coming up again. And I'm not saying that to dismiss anything or to tell you to stay with somebody that is cheating on you. Now, different relationships have different ground rules. If what this person is doing at this moment in time by talking to multiple people while they're with you is crossing the boundary, is breaking that ground rule, then don't hesitate to stand up for yourself. The excuse that this is who I am is not an excuse if there is clear rules or boundaries or whatever you want to call them within a relationship. That is all I'm going to say in regards. Pisces 2026 so far has been really good for you, to be honest with you. I feel that you had a couple of dark years back then. I'm gonna be honest. I do want to say Pisces and Scorpio came out in Libra's energy, and the energy was about deception, or the energy was about like a phantom pregnancy or like a false pregnancy energy. So I don't know if you're dealing with a Libra, go watch that Libra reading, where it talks about like it's like a phantom pregnancy is like where the pregnancy test come out positive, everything comes out positive, but in reality there's no pregnancy. For some of you that is the case. For others of you, somebody's actively being deceived about like a pregnancy. Now, we'll leave that there because that's as much as I'm going to get into that. There is here about you have been moving forward, or you're moving forward, or moving in the direction of moving forward with somebody romantically, and somebody from your past is trying to come in. This may be somebody that you share kids with, or pets or whatever, but somebody from your past is not happy that you're moving forward. They're not happy that you are in a stable relationship, or what looks like to be a stable relationship. To be honest with you, this new relationship does seem very new, but there is a solid foundation being built in this current new relationship. So I like to see that. Somebody is showing up exactly as who they say they are. There are no mind games. Now, with this phantom pregnancy, this may be in regards to like an ex. Maybe you have an ex that is dealing with like some type of, somebody has like a phantom pregnancy or something of that matter, and maybe you're going to hear about it. But there is that connection, is what I want to say, because I don't see this being directly with you. Does that make sense? Because I feel that for those of you that this reading is going to resonate, I don't even think you want any more kids, my love. I'm going to be honest with you, and there's no shame in that. I'm in that group too. I'm not a Pisces, but I'm in that no more kids. Because I have 4 is more than enough, and you count the 2 dogs, that's 6. We're good. Um, but there is a sense here that there is an ex that is definitely coming in to try to disturb thing, or to try to rub something in your face or something of that. Somebody else had that rubbing in their face type of thing. I don't know. I think it may have been Capricorn, who knows. um this person from the past really didn't think that things were really over between the two of you, so they're really having a hard time letting go, even though you guys haven't been together for a couple of years. To be honest with you, um they thought that they were going to go and do them for a while, and then that when they were going to come back, you were going to be just waiting for them, and they're coming into like a rude awakening that you moved on physically, energetically, and emotionally from this connection. And somebody here is having a hard time accepting that. Somebody here is throwing a tantrum, and is in complete disbelief that you moved away from them. Mhm. Causing issues here, Pisces. I'm only kidding, my love. All right, what is the closing message for Pisces? What is the closing message for Pisces? This was one of the cards that fell. This is play, have fun, celebrate, don't be too serious. And then this is the card that flipped out into my hands. And this is the trust the niggle. What is niggling feeling? What is that niggling feeling trying to tell you? A lot of you already know that this person from the past is going to show up. There's something like, again, you may have an ex that is being deceived or something of that matter. That deceptive energy is definitely connected to an ex. There is some type of security or some type of secure energy that you feel with this new person. Trust that. Don't allow yourself to get into your head, and don't allow yourself to talk yourself out of this current connection that you're in. It is something that, again, has a very strong, solid foundation, and that is going to evolve and grow into something very beautiful. Well, guys, that is all that I have. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Bye bye.